Electronics and Computer.
Das ist hier nicht so viel, oder?
So vermutlich nicht, nein. Aber das habe ich mir halt ausgedruckt, die Roboterbar.
Das ist cool. Da gehen wir hin.
Das ist bei der London Bridge.
Die ist wo?
Das ist da hier eins vor der Tower Bridge, das ist es.
Bridge ist auch nicht so weit weg.
Nein. Also mit der U-Bahn bist du binnen Minuten dort. Das ist ja echt an jeder Ecke eine U-Bahn-Station, das kannst du gar nicht, das ist urdicht, das Netz.
Der schaut wirklich, dass ein 30 Euro zum Mecken ist.
Wir reden nicht um 30 Euro, wir reden von 35 Pfund pro Nase. Wohlgemerkt gibt es natürlich ein Frühstück dabei.
Ja, machen wir gerne hier den Zucker.
Ja, das klingt interessant. Interessant auf jeden Fall.
Oder Fisch kann man auch essen. Gedünsteter Fisch oder was, aber alles andere.
Alles andere kannst du vergessen, die haben überhaupt keinen Geschmack. Die mischen das irgendwie alles in.
Man kann es Brot putzen.
100.000 Menschen gibt es indische Menschen gibt es in London. Ganz schön, ne? Ja.
Hast du den Weiß auch gleich mit Staubzucker gemacht? Weil die Taschenmenge waren bei dem anderen Frau los.
Das Update ist eingespielt.
Ich will so was machen, das muss ich nicht machen.
Kann ich sagen, du bist heute.
Da oben, nach oben geht Zylinder oder was?
Das blaue Teil, ja?
Wenn Fehler drin sind, vielleicht das Bild so.
Vielleicht nichts zu zählen.
Aber die Kamera schauen schon an.
Köln.
Wir haben in die Richtung geschaut.
dann einen Schwenk nach rechts machen.
Einmal mit dem Ausgang an der Seite drauf. Da gibt es ein Riesenbuffet und so.
the Earth is born, coagulating out of the spiraling cosmic dust cloud from which our solar system formed. Constant collisions scald the new planet, so that it becomes completely molten. Boiling lava surges up to the surface, releasing billows of gas and vapor. As the planet gradually cools, a crust forms, and steam in the atmosphere condenses it. Rivers and huge seas flood the rest.
Artikel eine Berichterstattung über den amerikanischen Wohlkampf, die dermaßen gut ist, Hintergrundberichterstattung. Dann hast du da ist Kultur schon. Und da ist eine große Reportage über Teenager, die sich selber wehlos tun. Und dann geht es da Tierrechner. Und dann kommt das plötzlich so eine dunkle Seite über die ethischen da geht es um Weltnachrichten und so weiter und so weiter. Das sind alles so die normalen Dings. Und dann kommt eine ganze Sektion über Frankreich, eine ganze Sektion über Europa. Welche Peilung dabei, das ist total interessant. Und dann geht das so weiter und da hast du einen Kopf.
Einfach
Nur über.
nach Jahreszeitenmäßig, welches Mädchen.
Ja, und da haben welche Sternsplatziert. So kleinen Artikel. Wenn man so Artikel über Wikipedia, was denn diese 3 Enzyklopädie, die sie im Netz schreiben, schauen wir bitte, wie die aufgemacht wird. Jetzt gleich zum Schreiben. So bitte. Dann siehst du genau, welche gesucht haben, was ein anderer Grund in der und den englischen Trainer ins rauszuschmeißen, nicht weil sie so bald bei der EM ausgeschieden sind, sondern
Kaufrausch verfallen.
I've written out pages and stuff.
This is the sixth Big Brother Awards, and obviously we are going to involve you. By the way, we want you to indicate your support for some of the nominations. So listen very carefully and decide as we go through the categories which ones you think are the shitest and ones evil, and we will be coming to you for your reaction for it. But it's not going to be sort of a horrible thing. I'm not going to jump up on the stage and somebody say, where are you from, what do you do, all that kind of stuff. None of that sort of stuff. Obviously, since September 11th, the various governments around the world have used the excuse of terror to take away as many liberties as they can. And what we have, I mean, I hope you're all ready for your government leaflet, by the way, on what to do if you are in a terrorist attack. What I was reading the thing, I don't know if you saw this, one of the pieces of advice the government say is if you're in a building that has been bombed, find a safe way out. Which is absolutely superb, because most of us will go, oh, we've been bombed, roller disco. So, and obviously, frankly, anyone who walks around with a fucking government leaflet in their home, which is what they're advised to do, stay at home, get your beans ready, get your telephone, your credit card. Anyone who fucking, if you're in the middle of a terrorist attack and you think, I'll go home and check on my supply of beans, fuck it, you don't deserve to survive. That isn't bigotry, that's just Darwinian logic. So obviously the terror scans come on, we get more. I don't know if you saw the latest or the last lot of terror warnings, which I think was the Parliamentary Select Committee said terrorists could topple Big Ben onto Parliament, which is true. They could. They could also use the dome as a frisbee and decapitate anyone. They could organise a mass piss in the Thames and flood us at any minute. They could do all of these things. They even went on to say that those big anti-tank concrete blocks outside Parliament, they said people could use those as projectiles to fire them. I mean, it's true, but surely you would see the sort of hordes of terrorists charging down Whitehall with the siege catapults, which would be the clue. Then, of course, you get all the massive kind of the security alerts that come out saying, we've got a security alert, there could be an imminent terrorist attack, and you say, where? And they go, oh, we don't know. You go, when? Soon. Who's going to be affected? Fuck off, it's not an exact science. Actually, Mystic maybe is more precise on this shit. But there was you always every now and again they raise the temperature by going, there could be a gas attack on the tube. I mean, you just think, oh fuck off, you're more likely to die on the tube because some bastard's privatised it, given a maintenance contract to Balfour Beatty, who exchanged it with Jarvis, who swapped it to Catherine Courtney, Director of the Identity Cards Programme at the Home Office, and Stephen Harrison, Head of the Identity Card Policy Unit at the Home Office. And this is because identity cards are crap and they've been involved in it from the beginning, and they've been part of the real monitoring of it, and obviously they're kind of hiding behind the kind of thing of we're just doing what the government tells us to do and we're only following orders. So they've been nominated, and the other nomination
is the Right Honourable Margaret Hodge, MP, Minister of State for Children.
Whose nickname incidentally is Enver.
I know her history with Islington, but Margaret is not particularly liked amongst the children's advocates and charities. She has been enthusiastic to the point of drooling over the idea of a national tracking system involving all children, a full surveillance system. She's already signed off on much of this tracking system, and in the Children's Bill is a provision that every child will be under surveillance from the day of birth. So, Margaret Hodge,
that's going to be quite graphic.
Really?
Well, yeah, because from the day of birth, isn't it? You're going to be there. So should we bring on those are the two nominations?
But should we ask people who's
okay, what do you reckon? Do you reckon the civil servants? Or do you reckon...
Well, a big boo.
If you think it should go to the civil servants, shout boo after 3. 1 to 3. quite a bit of support lately there within the civil servants. So Gordon Brown could be in for a rough ride. And if you think you should go to Margaret Hodge. Well, let's bring on the envelope dolly. Hooray! Hey, the envelope dolly! In solidarity with California. The envelope dolly, Richard. Richard, you want a slightly kind of...
Here, you've got to be away from the table, see?
It's slightly kind of Bruce...
You know, like acting 101, don't hide behind the table.
Meets yoga teacher. And the winner, Simon... actually, Richard, do you want to do it? The Right Honourable Margaret Hodge! She's not here. She's at home tattooing her own children.
List here. By the way, we had hundreds of nominations. Thank you to all of you who have sent in your postcards. We've taken all of them into account. We've culled 3 from the list.
Well, the first nomination goes to British Gas, who you might remember managed to actually cut off the gas supply of an elderly couple. But for some reason, they've been very, fine about paying their bill, and they just had a problem for some reason. British Gas decided to cut off their gas, and they died of hypothermia. British Gas then decided to say that it wasn't their fault that they didn't do anything about it. It wasn't their fault they didn't contact social services or anyone like that, because the Data Protection Act had forbidden them from informing the relevant authorities that these people were having trouble, which of course utterly bollocks, and was mentioned in the Commission's report that was utterly bollocks. And so, for the murderous British Gas, he said, without any hint of libel, they get nominated.
I mean, these are like elderly couple. I've got to say they're 80 years old. They've been living in the same house for 60 years. They have been loyally paying their bills every quarter, and the first quarter they missed in the middle of winter, and they died.
The next nomination?
Oh, Lloyd's TSB, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Hate all banks, but this is especially amusing. Lloyds have been writing to customers saying, if you don't come in with your identity papers, we are going to feedback. We are going to suspend your account. We are going to freeze all of your funds. Now, there's a small legal question over whether they can do this, because this is not based on legislation. This is based on a code of practice supported by the Financial Services Authority. Nothing legal about this. So we've had people threatened to have all of their assets and all of their funds seized.
The other nomination is Follow US, which is one of 9 numbers of companies specialising in mobile phone tracking that says that its services should be used for security and peace of mind and fun. I think we should bring on Richard with the much fun tracking mobile phone. There you go. I think we should bring on Richard once again.
Wait, we've got to get the view of the audience.
Who would like Follow US, the wacky mobile tracking company with bags of fun? After 3, 1, 3. Lloyd's TSB? Excellent. They just get it because they're bankers. Which is primary school. And the British Gas.
Bring on the envelope boy.
This is the best Inviters talk of everything he knows. And the winner is British Gas! I told you this was really low rent. Fantastic.
By the way, before we go any further, in the you know the Big Brother Awards all over the world, 17 countries and annual events. We started in a very humble, even more humble than circumstances in here. In the senior common room with the other people, all over the world now. Every country, every year we add new countries. The biggest Big Brother Awards in the world, forget the United States, is Austria. Okay? 1,200 people in the poshest club in Vienna. Last time I went there were 4 levels of security clearance. It's amazing. And they have moved, the vitriol of these people is extraordinary. They've moved beyond mere statues. They now give the winners live cockroaches, which they deliver. Can I ask Eric and his team to stand up and take a bow? Where are they?
Obviously, we don't want people to photograph them too much because the ALF are a bit pissed off about the cockroaches.
Eric had to meet us actually last night for a drink. Well, the whole crew, not us.
They had to meet us for a drink.
They had to tell them. What happened was that DJ Rick, I would say thank you for DJ Rick. He's been looking after us tonight. He's been looking after us right the way through the night. And what we did was we helped secure somebody's mobile phone that had been stolen. And the woman was in great distress. Okay, so she called the police. Right, we were basically making sure the guy didn't leave the pub. We were thrown out of the pub as a result of this. It's funny, for causing distress to the customers. But the important thing is that just as Eric was walking up the street to meet us, right, a riot van full of police and 2 squad cars. We're talking 12, 13 police here.
For a mobile phone.
For a mobile phone. I think it's overkill. I couldn't get you for a
I think
burglary.
that's the kind of commitment to zero tolerance that we need.
He said it's good to show strength.
Okay, we move on to the next nominations, which are for the most appalling project. And the first nomination is for Vodafone. And this is because they have got a systematic default program on all adult websites, which goes way beyond the VT plan to block adult websites, and it actually defines adult websites in very peculiar ways. And I'd like to say that it was Simon who nominated them for this.
Now, the Safe Harbour Agreement sounds very arcane, but it's a way that the Americans can get our information into the US, where they can do what they want with it, on the basis of a legally shaky and rather thin contract which is signed to say, no, we won't pass on your data. We won't do the wrong thing with it. Unfortunately, it's been brought to complete disrepute. It doesn't work, and both the Europeans and the Americans have sold us out. It's in its year of review this year, so we're hoping that we can do something to raise awareness about it.
The other nomination is the NHS National Programme for IT, which in the year 2000 won the most heinous government organisation award for its attempts and plans to computerise all patient records. That was very insecure, very dangerous way of doing it. And the nomination this year reflects the growing gravity of the situation and their plans for that project. I think it's time for Richard, the yogic envelope man. Please welcome Richard. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Richard. We didn't go to the audience for who they wanted.
Oh, it's my fault.
I do apologise. Who wants to go for Simon's Vodafone porn site blocking? Anyone go for the Safe Harbour Agreement? Or for the NHS National Programme for IT? I must say, I think the form had it. Please welcome Richard back on stage. That's fantastic. The winner. The NHS National Programme for IT is the winner. We've only got 2 more categories of big brothers to go.
Can I just say, I can do this while I remember. We're also launching Privacy International's new website, right? Today, right now, and thanks to Dusty Sane and David Bannister and people from Privacy International who worked so hard on it. It's a beautiful database-driven website. We're very pleased with it, and I hope you visit us at privacyinternational.org.
Yeah, to register.
Why do you have to say that?
Actually, the lights are going off in a slightly Danzani fashion. But we should go through the most heinous government organisation nominations. There are only 2 for this one. There is the Department of Transport, and this is for their electronic vehicle identification program, known as the Spy in the Dashboard, or it was known as the Informer. And this is a chip that will let the authorities know all your different things that you've been doing wrong with the car, like speeding.
And the idea is that you put one of these transponders into light posts or telegraph poles throughout Britain, so as your car goes past, it registers with the system.
And it will say when the tax list has expired.
So wird das Thema.
Es gibt ja einen, der das jetzt in sein Kabarettprogramm macht.
Ja.
Der genau ein Kabarettprogramm zur Überwachung 9/11 gemacht hat. Mittermeier. Der hat genau ein Kabarett zu dem gemacht.
Wer?
Der Michael Mittermeier. Der hat ein Kabarettprogramm zur Überwachung und so der Paranoia seit 9/11 gemacht.
Hast du das gesehen?
Ich habe ein paar Ausschnitte dazu gesehen. Gut.
Ja?
Böse. Der ist, der hat nur 1-2 Mal in Österreich gespielt, aber der hat sich extra nur ein Programm dafür gemacht.
Nur die Österreicher denken.
Ja, der ist
aber die sind alle irgendwie so, dass man die verkaufen das alles so, oder? Wenn man kein Feuer durchsteht, der macht dann irgendwelche Dings.
Man müsste mal mit einem reden.
Man müsste mit dem reden. Was schon mal? Man müsste mit dem reden. Genau.
Aber damit du mehr auf die große Hallen hast.
Weiß ich nicht, also das ist gut, aber...
Das ist jetzt 1,5 Jahre mit dem Thema.